on this planet, trying to get all my setups going here. I'm trying to straighten you out a little bit here on Instagram. And here's your host, BC Azerio from Bisimoto. The team and I are here working away, building projects that can wow the masses and have a lot of fun doing it in tote as well. Thank you so much, Instagram friends and family, for joining. YouTube Live, you're in the house as well. Appreciate all of your support all these years. And TikTok Live and Direct, good seeing you as well. And for those of you who want to be able to listen to this interaction some other time, whether it's while you're working out, you're using the loo, traveling, jogging, whatever the case may be, you can listen through Spotify podcasting. So that being said, just do a search on Spotify and we are good. Hello, Tear Bear VR4. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you indeed. Thank you so much, Mimo from TikTok, sorry. You have great taste in cars. Love it, says Cars by Pep. Thanks for the kind words. The team and I continue to build great things. And it's not all about me. It's about the group here and how we put together things and make things happen. And speaking of making things happen, we have a crazy SEMA coming up. And for those of you who don't know what SEMA is almost like a specialty equipment and manufacturing association group. It is a big show that happens a latter part, end of October, early November, almost near Halloween time frame, where everything aftermarket goes to just be displayed. And the opportunity to build wonderful cars, OEMs are there. We have American Honda, Curtis, HRA there, Toyota's there, Ford, Nissan. It's just a great place to not only interact with fellow enthusiasts and other industry icons, but a great place to also see trends in automotive excellence. And we start off with 2 cars. It looks like now we have 7, which is crazy, right? So we have a lot going on, which is pretty good. Where can I get that steering wheel you have for the Prologue as Junior? Very simple. Write to me at sales@bisimoto.com and we can make it happen for you, Junior. It's amazing. As a matter of fact, the Honda Prologue steering wheel is so cool. It has that yoke steering wheel kind of look to it that allows for much better visibility while giving you that motorsports kind of feel to it. And speaking of the Prologue and Hondas, this coming month in October on the 25th in Long Beach, California, we have Super Street After Dark. If you have a really nice JDM, European, any car in particular, if you have a clean Honda, go onto the Super Street website via Motor Trend, register, and you'll have a chance of getting your vehicle featured in the VIP area. There'll be tons of food, tons of entertainment, amazing guests courtesy of Super Street and also Motor Trend. It's going to be a blast. And I'll be there with a Prologue with my cool steering wheel, so it should be pretty nice indeed, right? Thank you, KC Creams, for my #1 gifter badge. Appreciate your kind gesture here on TikTok. Hello, Snarlin Marlin, cool name. Thanks so much for joining. Appreciate you indeed. Do you have any new BC merch? Snarlin, I have some coming out. Yes, I do. I have a very cool kind of 935 twin turbo meets California look coming out. So stay tuned. I will put up a nice update here on all my social networks showcasing that. We'll have a few different colors. We'll have new options. We'll have a t-shirt set up and also something that's really more like a very hip pullover or sweater or hoodie, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be absolutely smashing indeed. Congratulations on all your success, says Hyla Smith on YouTube. Thank you so much. And he says Long Beach is in the house. We'll be in your neck of the woods in a few weeks, celebrating everything Super Street at night at a very cool location in Long Beach. Let's see here. Can't wait for the next projects, BCA. Thank you so much. It's going to be just absolutely fantastic. And what I could share is we do have some really cool stuff coming out. I would say, let me see, what hints could I give? We're doing a cool minivan, not that one, but something more like a newer version of the Bisimoto minivan right behind me. We have a very amazing classic Bronco wide body coming out. We have, let's see, a twin turbo petrol 935 Tribute, an electric 935 Tribute, something that many people have never seen in the United States, which is a Neo EP9 hypercar. That'll be there as well. We have a very unique offering that I'm excited to share courtesy of Jeep, which should be coming out as well. And then peering there, you may see the K3V come out with some new technology at SEMA as well. So that's really cool 7 vehicles that should be in tote for the team and I. And we'll be there, the entire team will be there, interacting, networking, chatting, having a good time, relaxing. It should be good indeed, you know? What's your opinion on the new 2026 Porsche Turbo S? It's a big car. Performance I love, Lawrence. I like the look. Have you ever seen some of the newer Porsches next to some of the classic ones, like that right there? They are huge. It's like comparing an old school CVCC Civic to a modern day Camry. It's night and day. But I really like what Porsche is going in terms of technology. They've really embraced the PDK culture because it's what sells quite a bit. I like it a lot. And then now getting to hybridization, I think it allows the opportunity for the best of both worlds to keep that whole passion of Porsche going, especially when it has to do with the 911 model. So yeah, I like it a lot. Thanks for the question indeed. Let's see here. What's your name? White86 gave me a number 3 gifter badge. Appreciate that indeed. Sven Hartman also gave me a number 1 gifter badge as well. BC still making waves. The best Odyssey back there. Yep, the Odyssey is there. I get this question a lot. And you know what's really cool about this? I have been able to obtain a very interesting opportunity with JCCS. And JCCS is the Japanese Classic Car Show. Now, this is a big show in Long Beach. Again, Long Beach is in the house, courtesy of Hylas here. But on the same token, a lot goes on that city. It's just a lovely place with lots of architecture that's beautiful, lots of art, lots of great people. It's a very, very nice place and centralized, easy to access to do events. Anyway, JCCS near the Queen Mary, every year they have this beautiful show that really celebrates everything old school Japanese. So last year I took the wagon. I've had my insight there before. It's just an amazing, place to be. I've judged the competition there, just seeing all these amazing examples of classic Japanese cars, some period correct, some infused with modern technology, some old school race, some stuff from BRE, some stuff from Mugen. It's great. Well, what am I getting at? That Odyssey right there is going to be on display and is one of the feature cars where JCCS looks at car culture, new and old, and say, hey, what kind of car do people want to see and what they ask about? And believe it or not, that van is one of the, if not my most popular build. So that's going to be on display next to the Honda booth. And Honda is a huge supporter of Japanese classic car show, including Mazda and Nissan and Toyota. It'll be there on display. If you haven't seen this vehicle in the flesh, if you haven't heard it growl while out there driving, you need to come by the JCCS. It's going to be the place to be. The Mecca. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Let's see. Just sent me a gift. Thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate the gift gesture indeed. Another gifter badge courtesy of Creative Cuts. Thank you so much. Appreciate your kind gesture. Can't wait, says Lorna Marlin. I'm here to help you out. No problem. What's the favorite car you're working on right now? I would say it's a cross between the new Odyssey and the twin turbo Porsche. If I had to say an absolute one, I would say probably it's the twin turbo 935 Porsche we're building, because that thing is chock full of more technology than we've ever thrown in an air-cooled engine. Has some really period correct turbofans it's going to love, courtesy of Brixton Forged. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. And it's going to come out with a die-cast model. So to have that kind of double whammy happen at the same time, where the car is built and showcased and really just unveiled to the world, and next to it is a beautiful die-cast model of the same car available for the masses. God, I am the luckiest African on the planet. I really am. This is just great for the team and I to put together something. You can hear the lift going up, Nick and Jonathan out there lifting up. That lift, what's on there is a car that's going to be a toy very, very soon. How should I say? Almost immortalized in die-cast material. It's going to be fantastic. I'm pretty excited about that indeed. BC, what do you think about the G23 build? F22 block with h22 head. So STM Brian brings up a very good point. It's something that's fairly popular on the forums. And that's where someone will take an H22 head, which flows quite decently, right? Makes power from the H22, and incorporate that or make that with the bigger displacement and girdle strength of an F23 block. Now, some of the challenges I have with that are the following. When you mate said head block to mated said head, the oil galleys don't line up. So you have to do something very creative, not only with the head gasket, but also with the oil return ports on the h22 head. So sometimes that can be done quite elegantly, machining or welding. Some people do it a very crappy job. I've seen JB Weld, I've seen RTV Black. It looks very untidy. I really don't care for that. Secondly, the f23 block, the rods from factory are very, very, very thin. So they don't hold a lot of power very well. You can't really push it to oblivion like you would some other stuff. As a matter of fact, based upon what I've seen, the h22 head block crank rod, connecting rods are much beefier than that of the f23. Because of the mating challenges and the inherent weak points in the f23, unless you're building, and if you're building, you might as well go to town with it, I don't see much value in such a combination. If I were to build an f23, I'll build it all the way, even though I do prefer the f22A non-VTEC heads because they flow a lot more. And if you listen to any of the things I've said in the past, or do some studying on how internal combustion engines really work and how they make power, head flow is king. Whether you're natural aspirated or force induced, the head flow, the head design is a key component to making power in those engines. That's why you can have the same displacement D16 or B16, both 1.6 liter engines, but of course the B16 makes way more power than the single cam D series because of the head parameters and how the head flows and how the design exists. It just flows much better, combustion chamber is much better, you don't have as much core shift when it comes to how the heads were casted. It's just a win-win for everyone invited, for everything involved. So that being said, head is key. So when it comes to single cam performance, I am very partial, and I've proven how you can break records with that engine. The f22A is the way to go. If I'm going with an h22, I'll stay with that, do a full h22 build. The limitation on the h22 head is the rocker arm assembly. It does allow for very aggressive camshafts. You can do a lot more with the K series. You can do a lot more with the aforementioned f22A. So that being said, what would I do? If I'm doing h22, I'll stay with it. If I'm doing a JDM h23, which we've had a lot of success here, doing everything from 500 horsepower stock, fully built, 4 digits for 1,000 horsepower, you can do that. If you do an f23 and just like the displacement, if you're really, really inclined on that, try throwing an f22A head on that. It gives you flow better than h22. You have the opportunity to be able to run larger camshafts that can ever fit in an h22 head. And you can kind of piss people off by being a single cam that just spanks everyone. And you can take advantage of the displacement accordingly. So I hope that helps. And let's see here. Classic Car Finder says, crazy that we are talking about R34 GTR Evo 678 and Impreza GCA classic cars. Where does time go? And you're absolutely correct. When I was in Monterey at the Car Week recently, Classic Car Finder and friends, I spoke to the head of Porsche Classic in Atlanta. And when I think about classic Porsches, I think old school G bodies. I think 964s, I think 912s, I think 930s, I think 914s, I think 356s, I think 917s, I think like all the 901s, all the old stuff, right? 901 was a Porsche marquee until Peugeot, like, you can't do that. We own 901. Anyway, I think old school stuff like that, right? To my chagrin, I was told that the 997, yes, you have that 2006, 2007, 2010 Porsche 911. Those are considered classic. Crazy, right? So yes, I share in your sentiment, Classic Car Finder. They are classics. How would someone bring you their Porsche to upgrade the performance? What is the process? Says Hyla Smith on YouTube. Very simple. Some people call in. A majority of people write to us at sales@bisimoto.com. We had a gentleman a moment ago ask about how to get the steering wheel that we have in a prologue. The best way to contact us above and beyond through social is through our website or writing an email, sales, SALES, @bisimoto.com. And the team and I will probably get back to you immediately. If I don't get back to you, Lindsay will, someone will get back to you, no challenge whatsoever. Okay, let's see here. So many friends coming in, appreciate you guys. Palm Beach, Florida in the house, courtesy of Snow and Marlin, no problem. We can ship globally, no problem whatsoever. Recommended oil for piston ring break-in on a 1.5 GD3 Honda Fit. I love GD3s, by the way. And boosted GD3 for me, it depends on your oil. gaps. And what I mean by that is if you look at your crank bearings, your rod bearings, your bearing clearances, that gap dictates. If you're in the teens or tighter than the teens, you can use, and I recommend this. See my guys here, Pirol? We have some in stock here. They're even offering sponsorships now. You can use a Pirol SAE 30. And the Pirol SAE 30 is a formulated braking oil that is mineral based. And what it does, it allows for very good interaction between your piston rings and the piston walls. It does a great job in protecting your bearings to make sure that you don't have any challenges whatsoever. It has a cleansing agent that does get rid of all of the rubbish that you may have in there, machining debris, any kind of paper towel debris that you may have in there that you use to clean things up. After a braking session, when you drain it, it looks black. It's just nasty stuff. It's so good in what it does, while offering you amazing protection for not only your rotating mass components, but valvetrain, because it has over 1,700 parts per million of zinc. So that being said, hit up the guys here on Instagram, Purol_USA, that's PUROL_USA.com is their website, but here they're at Purol_USA. Hit them up, let them know that BC sent you for a sponsorship deal on braking oil. And if you have wider clearances, let's say you're above the teens, you're in the 20s or 25s, you're getting kind of crazy race stuff, use the SAE 40. So they have SAE 30, and that's good for engines that are designed for 5W30, 10W30, 0W20, 5W20, and lower, kind of that range. And if you have a much need for a thicker oil, where it's like 10W40 or 20W50, use the SAE 40. It's a single, non-multi viscosity oil that does a great job. What I've done in terms of how I've broken in engines, I typically pour it in, let it heat up to running temperature, and let it cool down, because you look for leaks and so on and so forth. And I literally go on the dyno. And then by the time I'm done with my 2.5, 3 hour dyno session, I drain it. It's nasty, it's sealed, I get 2% leak down. If you're not dynoing, it's a setup where you can drive around for a while, here's a really cool recommendation on how to break in your engine. You put in the Pirol SAE 30 or SAE 40 braking oil. Fill it up to your maximum fill, new filter, all that fun stuff. Get up to temperature, cool it down, just turn it off, cool it down till it's almost done, and then you have the opportunity to go driving it. Put at least 1,000 miles on this car, and not at a steady state RPM, vary the RPM and vacuum. It may even smoke a little bit upon first start because the rings are sealing and everything. You drive around, I typically go on the freeway, and I vary my throttle. I get into a little bit, in the throttle, give it a little load, let off, and I do that for like 1,000 miles. Let the rings seat and everything expand and clean up. And when you're done, after 1,000 miles, drain your oil and put in your oil fill of what you desire, and you'll be good to go. It's so simple, a braking process, and it's so critical to the longevity and efficiency of your engine. DUR on TikTok gave me a number 3 gifter badge. Thank you so much, Dur. Appreciate you indeed. Let me see that artist. It says Chad Jack. What I'll do, I'll probably do another walk around, because I have a whole ensemble of equipment going on here. So it'd be kind of hard for me to walk all the way there. But if you're in the greater LA area, come out to the JCCS. Hell, we can even sit in it when we get out there. It should be pretty good. It should be good at all. And Chad Jack, I'm not ignoring you. I just responded to you. Thanks for the kind words about we having an insane garage. But I have multiple interaction opportunities here. I have you on YouTube Live. I have Instagram Live going as well, TikTok Live, and also recording via podcasters courtesy of Spotify. So I have a lot. Big equipment here, almost impossible to take the whole thing over there to kind of walk around the bay. But what I would do, no need to apologize, Chad Jack. What I could do is afterwards, I'll do a quick walk around video, because you guys are asking for it. I'm here to supply you what you need. I'll walk around and talk about it. And it's been a while since we've talked about the Odyssey, especially since we've done quite a few technology updates to it. So I'm pretty excited to do that, and I'll do that indeed for you, Chad Jack, and even give you a shout out. So thank you so much for that opportunity. What's the weather gonna be? What's up, brother? The weather's getting nice. So you know what that means. Oh boy, yes I do. My very good friend here, ITB Kevin, who I love so much, and hopefully your hand is healing properly, so we can have some fun with you over here at the facility. We kind of do some fun stuff that involves devices that are fun that could be triggered. I'll just leave it at that, okay? 5W20 conventional, as Buddha G did it for me. Absolutely not. I would use conventional oil for engine braking because conventional oil doesn't have not only the ability to have that slight detergent to clean your engine during braking. Most conventional, a majority, almost everything out there commercially available that's conventional does not have the amount of zinc that you need to protect your overhead cam engines with. Zinc is very important. And how the zinc is associated with the base compound is also extremely important as well. If your zinc compound disassociates easily from the base oil, it can contaminate, especially high concentrations, can contaminate your catalytic converter, which you don't like. Plus, zinc is kind of expensive, and most oil companies tend to shy away from that because they're all about profits, right? My friends from Pure are a little bit different. They really are enthusiasts like you and I, and they wanted to create an oil that can really satisfy their needs because they didn't find anything out there. So this specific braking oil is mineral-based, like some conventional oils, but the additive package is what sets it apart. And once again, since there's an opportunity for a sponsorship, that is an opportunity to be able to take advantage of it with our guys from Pure. They want to help, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to assist you. What do you know about quadcopters? I'm into those now. Just got my 12 stack in. I have absolutely no information or have even heard what a quadcopter is. Is it something that's like a drone with 4 blades? Kindly share. I love technology, so if something I find interesting, I'd love to be able to join you and learn a lot more about that. Hello, Sunny Medipal says, hello, sexy. Thank you for the kind words. Appreciate the kind gesture and support. Another #1 gifter badge, courtesy of, what's your name here? Popeye. Thank you so much, Popeye, on IG, no, IG, on TikTok for sending that to me. I sold 2 h22 for 1,000. Did I make a mistake? I just threw my hat off. If they were broken cores, then no, that's actually a fair price. If they were proper H22As, complete, in good health, yes, you gave those away. H22s in good shape now go for almost close to $2,000. If someone loves you, you get it for maybe $1,200 to $1,500. They're very kind to you. 2 for 1,000, that is serious love. Yes, you did give it away. Douglas Lila on Instagram says, how do you mitigate the high revving rattling from the K series from vibrating everything else in the vehicle apart? Very easy. There are 5th wave, even 4th wave harmonics that can be damaging that occur in inline 4 engines, in particular the K series engines, in particular when you push the RPM further. What I've done to absorb such harmonics, which vibrates things loose, you're absolutely correct, is using a very good damper on the crankcase to absorb said harmonics. ATI is my go-to, and ATI makes it for the K series. They make street versions, they make track versions. Douglas Lila, trust me, get an ATI damper, put it on your K series engine, you would thank me like there's no tomorrow. You look like Denzel Washington in his prime. I beg to differ, but I appreciate the kind gesture. Thank you so much. Ashton Campbell, where have you been, sir? So good to see you here on a Bisimoto Tech Tuesday. I'm gonna bring in my Audi S5. We'll be more than happy. As long as you can wait a little bit to Akasima, we can definitely take care of you. The Anthony Amemiya says, BC, I have a question about getting into mechanic automotive engineering school. Can I send you a DM? Absolutely. And if you can feel free, you can ask here as well, because we all can learn together, right? So that being said, it's good. Fluid damper versus ATI, says Mocha. Great question. Fluid damper is another different type of harmonic damper. I, as a chemical engineer and someone who's put a lot of effort into fluid dynamics, I have a hard time understanding how a fluid that is viscous and movable can balance and absorb harmonics properly. What I like with the ATI is that it involves a lot of elastomer bands that wrap around, and based upon the dimension of elastomer bands, the number quantity of them, how it's incorporated, it can really do a good job in eliminating, absorbing, and canceling out harmonics. Well, I can imagine having a chamber that spins with a viscous fluid inside has a viscous fluid. It kind of can create a bit of imbalance at any given RPM upon initiation. I didn't see the results personally that I saw with ATI with the fluid damage. And hence my go-to was ATI, and it still is ATI. So whether I'm building a big block Chevy, whether I'm building a K series inline 4, a D series, a B series, even my F series that I used to rev to 10,700 RPMs, natural aspirated drag racing, I ran an ATI damper and my engines ran season after season after season without qualm. So hope that helps. I want to ask you something personal. Can you share your phone number? Unfortunately not. We're here in an interaction here. Sonny, feel free to ask away here and we'll be more than happy to assist you. You want to buy a 71 Datsun 510 wagon? Jack in Box, I have so many. No, I'm not a big 510 guy, but thank you. I love those cars. I think they're cool. I see some really clean examples out at JCCS. My good friend Jose, who I need to reach out to him. I've been spoken to Jose quite a while. He had a shop called R-Rated not too far away from here. He closed his shop, now works quite successfully in UPS. And I probably need to reach out to him and see if Jose Lalama still has his 510 wagon, and maybe he'll come out to JCCS. It'd be great bringing bread with him again, you know? Good enough for BC, good enough for me, says Mocha. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you. And also thank you for the badge as well. All right, thank you, BC, says STM Brian. My pleasure indeed. How's the White Odyssey coming along, says Ashton Campbell. It's coming along. It started, which is good. So what we're working on today, and I was just talking to some companies like Willwood and so on and so forth, we're doing like kind of trying to get together a custom, which I never did on my own Odyssey, right? Shame on me, and trust me, I need it on this thing. A custom kind of brake system for it, which is pretty cool, right? And then above and beyond that, we're doing something very clever with the exhaust system. I don't want to give too much away, but people are gonna be like, and also working on suspension as well. A lot of moving parts here, which is quite pleasant indeed. Gustavo Osoria says, hi, good seeing you indeed. Thank you so much for joining the Bisimoto Tech2sDay. 87 Red Porsche is rebuilding his 3.2 Porsche air-cooled engine, which is great, by the way. And is wondering, should I upgrade to a 3.4, 3.6 liter, hoping for more horsepower? Should I consider upgrading cams too? So Red 87 Porsche depends. Are you going to stay natural aspirated? Or are you going boost? Either way, a larger displacement allows you to make a lot more horsepower without much more stressors on components. And camshafts allow those engines to breathe. I'm telling you, whether you have a 3.2 liter engine from an earlier G body like the 87 and thereabout G body, which has a beautiful intake manifold, even upgrading to a 964 cams, that engine brings power. Going with something more Evo cams brings more power. We have designs that we can help you with. So if you need some kind of insights on cams, I can design something for you that you will absolutely love. But if you have the budget and ability to go with a 3.6 liter, do it. The one we're building right here for SEMA, 3.6. The chassis is an 82, but we're putting a 3.6 in it as well. So it's gonna be absolutely fantastic. If you're gonna stroke yours, bigger bore, bigger stroke, that's fine too. The one thing I do like about the 964, 993 engines is that the heads, talked about heads earlier on 87 Red Porsche, the heads on the 964s flow a lot more than the 3.2s. If you end up doing that, let me know. And if you're gonna sell your 3.2 engine, I may have some customers who may be interested in. Let me know. All right, let's see here. What did I miss, says Porsche Pentecostal. Let's see. We talked about our plans for this year. We're building 7 cars for SEMA. We talked about some really good opportunities with swapping Honda heads with other Honda blocks and how the importance of head flow and combustion chamber design is critical to power. We talked about the Odyssey and what plans we have there and how this particular Odyssey is going to JCCS. We talked a little bit about engine designs and different kind of dampers and how certain 4th and 5th wave harmonics can affect vibration and the longevity of engines and how we can do that. We talked about braking oils and how you need to use a Puro for braking oil, not only because it's a great brand and it has great zinc protective properties, but it does a great job in cleansing the engine and getting all the contaminants and rubbish out during first startup and during braking as well. It's absolutely fantastic, which is quite nice. So that being said, yeah, it's quite nice indeed. Okay, Sunny Mepertal is asking, hi, 6 feet, no problem whatsoever, that's who I am. BC, would you work on a replica Bugatti? Jasper, it depends on how well it's done. I have no qualm with replicas. We've worked on replica cars here. We built a lot of tribute cars here as well. I have no objection to it, especially if it's an old school one indeed. Okay, outstanding. Thank you. This says GD3 for me. My pleasure indeed. For max effort, NAK series, more duration with suboptimal open close or short duration lift. It depends. If you want max effort in the higher RPM bands, long duration, big lift is the way to go. With decent overlap, and especially with K series, you can play around with cam angles, so you can have a much broader torque curve than you would a fixed lobe separation angle. So that being said, more lift, more duration within reason will give you the most power. Now, let's say you want more bottom end and mid range. Of course, you want short duration and decent lift. That way you can somewhat eat your cake and have it too. But if you're staying VTEC, you can do both. You can have a very nice low lift, low duration on the lower VTEC lobes. And then when the big one kicks in hard, you can have huge lift and huge duration for the ultimate in power. And by the way, don't be shy, even if you're boosted cars love lift and duration too. It's one of the reasons why super guys love when they put cams in, whether it's a Brian Carr cam or a Bisimoto cam, whatever the case may be. It's like freaking they're gangbusters, right? Because the factory cams are so limiting and so small from factory. You put in any kind of decent camshaft, and then you are like a hero. It's absolutely spectacular. So that being said, yeah, hopefully that helps you. Well, Marsh 11, thank you so much for your wonderful question. Sven says, do you have time on November 1st? November 1st, I guess I'll be knee deep in SEMA projects. I'd probably be dead to the world with little or no sleep. I'm hoping not for that. See, Jonathan's over there, he's probably looking at me, and it's like, it's just, I'm hoping that we don't have to go crazy. I'm just hoping that things can go smoothly. We had a smooth, I say 2023, 2024 kicked our butt. I'm hoping this year will be very nice too. Anyway, it'll be kind of crunch time. So I think you are coming to see my Sven, and if you are, I'd love seeing you out there. Love the Rolls Royce, says Keytram66. Thank you so much. I love this car too. The only challenge is, you see that interior has a pretty color, like a Tiffany blue in there. It wasn't done very well. It's actually quite rubbish. So the reason why you haven't seen much of any data or content on this vehicle is, even though the technology is sound and the drive unit is amazing, like 600 horsepower, just lots of fun, beautiful wheels, beautiful paint outside, dome light works, everything works, all this stuff. I'm gonna try and infuse AC in this, by the way. All that fun stuff is happening. The interior took a couple years to get done, and it has to be redone completely. My friends at SOS are gonna try and help me with that. It's gonna be absolutely fantastic when they're done with it. But right now, it is not acceptable. As you're driving this car, panels fall off. I mean it, guys. We're literally doing a shoot for a partner, and panels were falling off as I was driving. The seats are broken from the gentleman trying to reupholster. It's just bad. Maybe one day I'll do a video and do justice and share with you guys my terrible experience. But yeah, thanks for the kind words nonetheless. But I feel that great things will happen to this. It will allow the opportunity for I and the guys from SOS to do some wonderful things. And it'll be out there, and it'll be actually one of the cars where I can take to car shows and take the whole family with me, instead of driving around the 935s that only have one seat. So I can only take one of the kids instead of all of them. So yeah. Okay, let's see here. My says LA. How do you say name? LA Flexico 999. Hello, good seeing you. Number 2 gifter badge, courtesy of Hoove. Thank you so much, Hoove, for sharing that with us. Appreciate the kind gesture. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Addiction Tuning say, hey BC, thanks again for our convo about the cams. It really helped. Just placed my order yesterday. Cheers. Thank you so much, Addiction Tuning. You are gonna love the Bisimoto designer camshafts. We have over 3 dozen different designs for the D series. And when it comes to D series performance, we are king. We have records that have held for decades. And anyone on this planet who's broken records, even boosted for D series, has Bisimoto components in their said build. So absolutely fantastic. So thank you, thank you, thank you. BC, says Giovanni. Hello, Giovanni. Oil City, good seeing you, sir. Thank you so much for joining Tech Tuesday. It has been a while. I hope you've been safe and taking care of business. Let's see here. Pipe hacks, okay. No. STM Brian saying, so BC, what would be your take on a fully built G23 versus a fully built F23 with an F22 head? I prefer the latter. So once again, for those of you who may not know, a G23 is where you take an H22 head and you put it on the bottom end of F23. So what STM Brian is asking for is how does the F22A head compare to the H22 head? So I'm going to give you something that is a bit of a good comparator. And I'll use a race car or two as this comparator. You guys may know a very nice gentleman by the name of Jeremy Lukowski. Jeremy Lukowski was a fellow enthusiast, still is, a fellow racer, still is. He has a company that's done quite well in the Honda scene. And for many years, he raced H22 engines. He had H22 engines in a CRX, transferred to a tube chassis Civic. And for many years, he was racing, trying to break into the single digits, into nines in drag racing, and was right at 10-1, 10-0 for quite a while. And then I convinced him to allow me to design a header for him. And right after bolting that header on, he, boom, got into 9. First pass, he ran 9.9, right? Both of us are capable builders, capable drivers, capable enthusiasts. I, on the other hand, instead of having a tube chassis car that had an H22 motor, I had a unibody CRX / Insight with an F22 head, F22 setup. I got my car to 920s. So he actually, to be able to get to those times that even surpass me, he had to go to a K series with the same tube chassis car. But with the same H22, he didn't really get faster than high nines. So what does that mean? All things being equal, the F22A made more power, and hence my car, even being a heavier unibody vehicle, ran much faster because the head had more potential for power. Even though the H22 head flows beautifully from factory, the limitation are the valve train and camshafts. You cannot, without much significant expense, I'm talking about significant expense, that's coming from a builder and designer. You cannot get a 600 lip cam in an H22 head, but you can in the F22 without much qualm. So you cannot flow like crazy without fracturing on an H22, because if you look at the head and how it's designed, the ports kind of turn rapidly down to allow for the head clearance or the hood clearance on the Prelude, to allow for the camshaft dual cams opportunities. Because when you put cams above the valve, you kind of have to move the port around to have an acute angle to allow for the cams to even exist above it. While the F22 has a single cam in the middle, has a reach to the ends of the head with rocker arms. And when you look at the cam angles, the F22, because of how the cam angles exist with the head, and this was, I'm sure, just a lucky fluke for us, you can put up to 4mm oversized valves in that. You can't do that with an H22. H22, the valve angles, if you go a little too big, you contact. So from a head perspective, based upon my experience, the F22A head reigns supreme, and that's the way to go. If you're gonna stay with something fairly mild, of course the H22 is good, because without doing much massaging, mild to mild, it reigns supreme. But when you start getting to, as you said, fully built, I have access to any engine I want. And my choices have been newer K series and definitely F22s. F22A non-VTEC, F22A, F22A4, A6, even the F18As from overseas, the heads are the same with slightly lower displacement. I've done it all. Love them. Guys, I do have to get back to work. It was really a great interaction with all of you. Look at that, I'm just chilling and relaxing, because me sitting here with all of you is more like a vacation. But unfortunately, I have to get back to some more emails, more wiring, all that fun stuff. It was a pleasure interacting with each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining me on this wonderful Tech Tuesday. And thank you for also being patient, because I've been absent for the past couple of Tech Tuesdays. Last week, I was in Detroit, talking to some people from Stellantis and hanging out with Ralph Chills. Drove his beautiful, he's such a bad influence on me. This beautiful classic convertible Alfa Romeo, amazing, with a, Motec powered. I had these Jembys that looked like side-off Webers, but it was injection, but it was very correct. It was amazing. I actually had some pointers for him on how to make that even better. The week prior, I was in Utah with my good friend, Jeremy. Jeremy, who's Huckleberry Finn here, has a beautiful 930 that we also converted for him. I want to do some validation with him as well, and some updates on his car. And I'm going to send him even more. I need to call him. I'm going to send him some more updates via mail soon. Anyway, long story short, guys, thank you for your patience in putting up with me during my absence. But I'm back now, and we'll get together again next week, Tuesday, before I have to travel again next week, only for a day or so, and I'll be back. Anyway, Take care, everyone. Have a pleasant one. Cheers. Bye-bye.